So we got a flower box here that just got covered in weeds, so I think I'm gonna dump this dirt maybe in one of our raised beds or something. But we do have lilies and stuff that are planted here. They never came up. They should have came up. We planted them a little late. We refrigerated the bulbs for a pretty long time, probably 10, 20, 30 days longer than we were even supposed to. So they should have sprouted. Still alive. Maybe we'll recollect these and throw them somewhere else. Tons and tons of earthworms here. You should just see, we're just digging in here a little bit. Wow, there's 3 or 4 or 5 just right here. So I think I got most of the Easter lilies out. They're right here, the bulbs. Had a couple rotten or insect damaged and I sorted through them. There's probably a few big or small ones in there, but I'm not going to dig further. Maybe let's go ahead and dump this in a raised bed. You know, these worms are showing that this is not just garden soil. This is not finished compost. They're still working on it. So we're going to dump this right here on the pine totem where the Mineola tangelo is going to go. And we probably don't even need but about half of that. So hey, we got another half here to put somewhere else. Looks like one of our papayas potentially has died. This little one we put in the Meyer lemon bed here, but that's okay. Maybe it just didn't have enough dirt or something, density and moisture around the roots to keep it, you know, alive. Here's the pomelo we planted in one of our previous videos, and it's done wonderful, it looks like. Got a lot of green growth here, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Now this little papaya, we added some of that dirt to. It does have a little new leaf coming out. All right, let's go look at this peach we planted in zone 1, wetland zone 1, real quickly. It's looking pretty good. It's got some little peaches on it. Not sure if they'll stay on there, but I guess we last put guinea pig bedding around it. I'm sort of struggling here. Do I put an apple over here? With our long-term plans, a lot of this area would be shaded out, you know, with some of the plants or trees I'm going to be putting in here. And apples really, you know, after rainfall and, you know, spring and summer weather, high humidity, condensation, you know, dew, you know, sticking on the leaves and the tree too long, you know, there are a lot of fungal issues. So having it in the shade means it takes longer to dry out. So we probably are going to end up having to do a spraying thing, you know, with peaches and everything, from what I'm told with from the people we got a lot of these plants from. So it's not something that I want to do, but it's probably something we're going to have to do to have apples, peaches, and mayhaws. Even at the L, where it L's off at the end of the wetland zone 1, we have a ginormous male Himalayan or Pakistan mulberry tree there. We have a real grafted Pakistan mulberry tree there. We have a pecan tree there if it survives. And before the L, we have a super shady area there where the roots are so dense that it's hard to get anything to grow. We could probably do something that loves the shade in like one of our raised beds there, but that's not a good idea for apples. And long term, this is just all going to shade the apples out if we put them here. This is a possible alternative. This is right next to wetland zone 1. It's the old buck pen where we separated the bucks and stuff when they were in rut sometimes, the goats. I was originally kind of intending to put pawpaws under the shade of the mulberry, and over time chop at least this side of the mulberry off so it doesn't shade it, so it gets more sun over the years. But we could, I think I talked about this in a previous video, putting like something in a corner. Maybe over there in that corner we could put an apple in a raised bed. We already have a tree there if we can break it and make a frame with it. This thing is most likely rotted enough to use. So I think we can frame it in right here and start working on this bed. It's already got some fungal growth on it, see? Right, there is a big tree behind all the weeds, so there's the frame going this way, probably 15 feet. So we're going to kind of frame it in here. We may build it out later for something else too. So there's kind of our basic frame. Some dry and green dog fennel there, elderberry, I think some golden rain tree. Correct me if I'm wrong. Biden's alba, some like dead muscadine vines. I think all the fallen trees right there in this area are red maple, green paper mulberry. Probably some dried sweet gums and a little bit of this and that. Ferns, sweet gum leaves, a little bit of pine. If I can pick any of this dogwood out of the ground or if it's just gonna fall apart on me. Oh, it's like dirt already. Wow, I got a really nice piece if it don't fall apart before I get to my destination. What happens when I hit it? There we go. It's gonna crumble into almost dirt, and we'll be able to twist it and turn it and make it very in small particles and soft. It'll be like dirt. All right, here's some grapefruit, a little bit of pear, a little bit of the squash vine we grew, and a little bit of pecan, and a big old chunk of tallow that was brought in with pine tree truck load the other day. A bit of green goldenrods, a little bit of bottle brush. Sort of looking for some oak, but we got some new growth on our Duncan grapefruit that we planted in this raised bed here. Chunk of pretty much half rotted or more oak. Here goes that oak. I think for the most part we're done with the woody pieces. Let's just get some leaves and dirt, compost, our magic dirt, whatever, and maybe nutrient drench it and everything. With these instant or short weight beds we're doing, we don't have time for a lot of green material to break down. So we need to seed it as much as possible. Fungi, earthworms, and obviously, you know, putting these nutrient drenches in there speeds up, you know, the bacteria and everything, breaking down everything and making it more ready. There's a little raked up pile of mostly camphor. We're going to go in 2 or 3 or 4 places and get, you know, red maple, sweet gum, possibly a little bit of oak, magnolia, and pine needles, and we're just going to put a small clump of each from each area into that raised bed. Topping it off with pine. We're going to kind of wiggle that stuff in there, do the nutrient drench, and we'll be done with it for now. Stomp it in a little bit. Time for the stink water. Oh, this stuff's nasty too. Got all those leaves, and pine needles going to absorb this stuff. Look how like brown it is. Look at there. I can just leave this upside down and let it drip in there too for a while. Drip dry. The reason I don't put the dirt in the worms and stuff in first is because that stuff is strong. I don't know if the pH would kill the earthworms or run them away, but let all the leaves absorb it, kind of dilute the strength, then put the active, you know, fungi and earthworms and stuff in there. And we could put finished compost or garden soil in there, just not the active stuff. Speaking of the magic soil, they grew those pumpkins to like 1,000+ feet of vines. It is so like nutrient dense that it is like bending over these black nightshade. Look how beautiful this is, other than them falling down because they're getting so much growth. Goat poop and pee. Whoever knew that's the magic combination. I'm going to put a little bit of this Happy Life compost, finished compost and cow manure mix on top of there. That's maybe 20% of a bag. I think we'll probably finish doing the nutrient drench on that in the next episode of the Age Wood Chip Alternative Beds. But look at this. This is one of the post-mycorrhizal beds here. We got a ton of nice growth on this Dunstan chestnut here. It is looking good so far. We build a post-mycorrhizal bed around it, and every once in a while when I'm back here, I'll throw some sticks or some leaves or something on there. And I did give it a light fertilizer the other day. Post-mycorrhizal bed still kind of looks sad. It does have like some new leaves. It might be a longer term before we notice any improvement or failures here. It's had so much dieback, you know, over the last 2 years. Remember, I pruned this guy off last season, you know, all the dead growth. But let's see if this repairs it. Long old banana bed, it looks like it's already getting overgrowth of weeds around it. Didn't take long, but I really don't know what I'm going to do with this, so it's okay. We'll add to it as we get like a plan and finish it up. But it's so shady here. Look at all the shade. it's hard to know what we're going to do here. Maybe it's even too shady for asparagus beds. So what have we got left? We just started working on our apple bed. We already put our peach bed down with the peach in it. We have a blood orange we need to plant. We need to figure out where we're going to put our pear bed. And we have that other mystery chestnut, whether it's a Chinese or a hybrid, that I have no idea where we're going to put. Plus, we talked about doing a mystery bed, so yeah, no luck on finding nectarine trees that would be really good for this area. We'll look maybe next month at a few nurseries, but after that, I'm pretty much giving up for the season. And a potential plum bed, you know, my main closest nursery, that's one of the bigger ones, aren't really going to have plums until like Halloween next year or this year or whatever. And since I found out our Scarlet Beauty plum is semi-self-pollinating, we may not even need a plum, so we would just be planting it for experimental purposes only. No nectarine and plum trees. That takes 2 of the beds out of the equation, and we have 1 citrus, 3 more avocado beds to potentially make, 1 mystery bed, and possibly like a tropical bed that we sort of protect or put in on a south wall or 2. So that's probably only up to 8 more beds we need to build for the whole season.